Camera to stop shaking. Hello and welcome to Time Troopers. Today we're going to be looking at mission 3.1, Move Like Water. As always, make sure you read the mission infill text so you understand the story. Then we're going to dive straight into setting up the dice and the deck. So today, because this is a Japanese deck, we're going to need the pink dice. So we'll take out the time travel dice and then the pink local dice, and we'll set those to one side. We know that we're going to need this and the tokens as well. So next we're going to look at the deck. So we need S5 to S6, T1 and V1 to V4. So we're just going to get those cards out now. So we will go to the deck, Japanese deck, and we will separate the cards into the ones that we need and don't need. Okay, so we have our deck of cards that we need. We'll just place them here. We'll put these back in the deck here. And we will take out our trooper deck, which we know we're going to need, and place that down here. And we'll set the box to one side. So moving along to the setup, you will see here there's an S6 and a V3, a V3, a V2, and a V2. So we'll go ahead and look for those cards. There's S6, V3, V3, V2, V2. The rest of the deck will get shuffled and be placed over here. So you'll see we have the scorpion above the 4 locations. So let's lay that out. So we have V3, V3, V2, and V2. So everything is laid out. We will draw 6 cards, discard 2, and we start with 3 time tokens. On this level, we don't start with any troopers in play. Set this to 3, draw 6 cards, discard 2, and that would be our starting hand, and we'd be ready to play. So now I'm just going to go through the special rules that are in this game. So your mission brief is you want to stealth all the river cards and defeat scorpions and locals in play. We fail if 3 troopers are defeated. So how do we do that? Crossing the river. Stealth the river cards in any order and place tokens up to the value shown. Resolve any text on the card and then remove them from the game. Once all 4 river cards are removed, you can then move on to combat. Then underneath this it says combat. In this mission, no combat can occur until all river cards are completed. Any locals or scorpions coming into play will be placed in the local zone above the river cards. Once all the river cards are removed, normal combat will begin. So the special instructions on this mission are saying then, we can't attack any scorpions or locals that come out, and they can't attack us. So the river's in the way, so we have to cross the river before we can engage with them. So characters would come into play as normal, but really they can only stealth this river. Once you've stealthed the river cards, so this one, for example, says stealth 4, when completed gain 1 time token. So if, for instance, in Kelly's turn, she decided to stealth for 3, we rolled a +1, we would stealth that river card, it would get removed from the game, and that's one of the river cards out of the way. Once all 4 river cards are out of the way, the game would continue as normal, and normal combat rules would apply. So in essence, this level means you need to stealth the river cards as quickly as possible before the enemy can build up on the opposite's bank. If you don't do this, you risk having a lot of enemies to defeat as you go along. Alternatively, it gives you time to build the troopers you want into your area so that when you do clear the river cards, you're free to engage with the enemy. One other special rule to be aware of is the villager card. So when the villager comes into play, let's say, and then another card comes into play, the villager instruction says at the end of every round, it must be moved to the right-hand side of the combat zone. So it will always move to that side. That's important because it means the villagers should always be on this side of the combat zone. Another special rule to keep an eye on is Hoshi and Hatamoto. One of them, when Hoshi is defeated, add a monk from the discard pile into play if possible. There are no monks in this level, so there's nothing for you to action. However, this card will be used later on when that is applicable. That's it for now. Good luck!